Start recording. Stop recording button. Back button. Stop camera chooser. Front facing button. Speech off.
Hi guys, it's Rainbow Breeze. I know I haven't made a video in a while, so I'm going to be reacting to the second Pinkie Tales in Magpie series, Little Red Riding Bloom. So, let's get to it. Oh, and remember, these videos are not visual, so you will hear it like I do. Alright, let's get started. Turn up my main volume, and up this, here.
Pinkie Tales, Little Red Riding Bloom. You're going to love tonight's story, Poundin' Pumpkin. It's all about the adventures of a little filly, a terrifying wolf, and the proper use of cookware.
The proper was cook.
Once
What?
upon a time.
In a small village just outside the city, there lived a pony called Little Red Riding Bloom. She was given this nickname due to the fact that she never took off a little red cape that her granny had made. She did so to hide her blank flank from the other colts and fillies in her class. But after a while, she had grown accustomed to wearing it regardless of her cutie mark. One day, Little Red Riding Bloom's mother gave her a basket of apple treats to bring to her granny, who lived in another village on the other side of a thick forest. Although Little Red was a sweet filly at heart, she was known to get a little distracted, just like another certain pink pony who was chewing was interrupting the story.
What? Me? Oh, sorry. It's just that you made all those apple treats sound so good, and I couldn't resist eating a few myself.
How did I make them sound good? All I said was that she had a basket of treats.
Yeah, but it was the way you said it. All I could think about were apple pies and fritters and apple cider and caramel apples and apple muffins. Do they make apple muffins? If not, they should. That would be so delicious, and they would go great with the mug of cider too. And
Can I get back to the story, please?
oh, sure.
Thank you.
Interrupting the narrator.
Now, Little Red Riding Bloom's mother instructed her to stay on the path and not stop for anything or any pony on her way. She warned her that the forest could be a dangerous place, especially for little fillies and colts.
If it's so dangerous, why is she letting her go into the forest on her own?
Because that's how the story goes, Pinkie Pie.
Well, if Applejack was here, she wouldn't let her go into the forest alone. Who knows what kind of mischief that little pony can get into in there?
Pinkie.
Well, if you would let me continue the story, we might be able to find out.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I'll be quiet now. Promise.
Little Red Riding Bloom began her journey with a smile on her face and a skip in her step. She sang a merry little tune and reached into the basket, pulling out a delectable-looking and delicious-smelling apple pie.
I'm sure Granny won't mind if I took a few bites of pie. To keep my streak going, of course.
Little Red said to herself as she gobbled up a particularly large piece of pie. The smell of the pie and all the other pastries in her basket were beginning to attract a sizable crowd of forest animals, including the dreaded big bad Apple Wolf,
Apple
who
Wolf.
was known for her insatiable hunger for all things apple.
The Applejack.
Apple Wolf was finishing her last juicy apple when she spotted Little Red Riding Bloom. She gasped and leapt out from her hiding place to confront the little filly.
Apple Bloom, a Little Red Riding Bloom. What in tarnation are you doing so far in the woods on your own? Don't you know that there are dangerous creatures about?
Like you?
Yeah.
Little Red replied, taking a step away from the wolf in fear.
Yes, like me. I'm a wolf for Celestia's sake. Do you know what wolves like to eat?
Apple pie?
Little Red said, holding out the remains of the apple pie she had been eating.
No. Yes. I mean...
Apple Wolf started, taking the pie from Little Red and finishing it in one bite.
What I meant to say was, where headed, little filly?
I'm on my way to Granny's house with this basket full of goodies.
To Granny's house, you say? And where does your granny live?
She lives at the end of the forest path in a little old cottage.
Don't tell her. Darn it, Apple, that's one lesson you should learn. Never tell someone where your grandma lives or where you live. It's not good. It ends in disasters.
Surrounded by apple trees.
You don't say. And does your granny live with other ponies?
No, Granny lives alone. That's
Oh.
why I have to bring her this basket, you see. She likes the sweets, and she likes the company too.
I'll bet she does. But you know, little filly, there are plenty of hours left in the day. What's your hurry?
Mama told me not to dawdle and stick to the path.
Did you just say dawdle?
Sorry, Miss Wolf, but I really should be getting on my way.
Applewolf paused and contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect plan to...
Question?
Yes, Pinkie.
What's contemplated mean?
It means to think.
Oh, okay.
Applewolf paused and contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect...
Question?
Yes, Pinkie.
He's getting annoyed.
Concocted mean?
It means thought up.
Oh.
Can I get back to the story now?
Uh-huh.
Applewolf paused and contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect plan to distract Little Red Riding Blue.
Question?
What? Pinkie?
Whoa! He got
You
him.
need to know what the word distract means?
Oh, I don't need to know what that means. I already know. It's when you can't stay focused. Like you're interrupted or something.
Yeah, like you're doing.
You don't say. Didn't you have a question?
Ooh.
I did? Oh, I guess I forgot.
Yeah.
Applewolf paused and contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect plan to distract Little Red Riding Bloom from reaching Granny's house. Applewolf intended to get to Granny's before Little Red so that she could eat the apples from her yard and then finish off Little Red Riding Bloom's basket for dessert. After all, wolves have a rather large appetite, and Applewolf was no exception.
Hey there, little Red. Have you noticed what wonderful flowers are bloomed in the meadow there?
Yeah? Why?
Well, don't you think Granny would like some flowers to go with her apple desserts?
How do you know they're all apple desserts, Apple Wolf?
It was just a guess. That pie you had was mighty tasty. But a pony can't live on pies and cakes alone, now can they? They gotta have all kinds of good things to eat. Like those daisies over there.
I guess that makes sense.
Good. It's settled then. Mustn't dilly-dally now. Granny will be wanting a fresh bouquet to go with those desserts. Oh, wait a minute. Did I just say dilly-dally? Oh, darn it, storytellers. Stop putting words in my mouth.
Aw.
Having been fooled by Applewolf, Little Red Riding Bloom disobeyed her mother's wishes and
Ooh.
strayed from the path to pick some flowers in the meadow. While she did so, Applewolf quickly followed the path until she happened upon a little cottage on the other side of the forest. Her eyes widened when she saw that the group of apple trees surrounding the little house were bucked clean of apples. She growled, guessing that they had undoubtedly been harvested and now inside Granny's cottage. Applewolf approached the house and knocked on the door.
Huh? Oh, well now, who is it?
It's me, Little Red Riding Bloom.
Applewolf said, trying to imitate the little filly as best she could.
Who?
Your granddaughter, Little Red.
I have a granddaughter named Little Red.
That's who I am, Granny. Little Red.
No, I don't want any Philly Scout cookies. I've got plenty of apples in here, thank you.
Applewolf let out a frightened growl and bucked the door open. It crashed into the wall loudly, but it did not seem to upset the old pony. Instead, she called out,
Who is it?
I'm getting mighty tired of this bit, Granny. Now, where are you keeping them apples?
Granny struggled to get out of her rocking chair and slowly made her way towards the kitchen before she gave Applewolf her answer.
Now, I've been growing and harvesting apples for many years, you darn varmint.
Ooh.
I'll be corn swallowed if I have some apple thieving wolf
said, ducking when a frying pan soared across the room, nearly hitting her in the head.
Eee.
Not without your apple. Ow! I'm not leaving here before I... Ow! How many frying pans do you got? Ow! My tail! Good gracious, Granny, where are all these coming from? What a strong hoof for such an old pony. Hi!
Oh, never say old
Applewood
pony.
said, just as one of the frying pans hit her square on the nose.
Ooh.
Granny smirked and nodded her head, reaching for another pan, but finding the cupboard bare.
Oh, shoot! I knew I should have gone with the 100-piece set on them things.
Ooh.
Finally!
Applewolf said, growling again as she leapt across the room towards Granny. A few hours passed, and Little Red Riding Bloom finally made her way to her granny's cottage. As she skipped towards the front door, some of the many wildflowers she had collected trailed behind her. She hadn't intended to stay in the meadow for so long, but the more flowers she found, the more she wanted to collect them. By the time she was finished, the meadow had practically been picked clean. She knocked happily at her granny's door.
Granny? Granny, are you here? It's me, Little Red.
There was a long silence followed by the sound of a bed creaking, but no reply.
Granny?
Little Red Riding Bloom asked, pushing open the door and inviting herself in.
Did you forget I was coming?
Oh no, dear, I'm in here.
Applewolf said, trying her best to make a granny impression. She had stolen Granny's nightcap and hidden under the covers of her bed, hoping to fool the filly. Little Red pushed open the bedroom door curiously.
There you are. What you doing in bed so early? It's barely sunset, Granny.
I've been real tired from all that apple bucking.
But you don't apple buck your own trees, Granny. You have it for years now.
Well, I thought I'd give it a try this year. What you got in that basket there?
I bought
Wow.
you some sweets from Mama and me. We made some fritters and pie and camel apples and cake.
Give 'em here, youngin'.
Applewolf insisted, trying not to look or sound too desperate, despite the fact that she was beginning to drool.
Well, the thing is, I don't really have any more of them.
What?
Well, you see,
Oh, did she
I
growl
met
right
this
there?
wolf who showed me a meadow of really good-looking flowers and said I should pick some for you. Only thing is, I needed something to nibble on while I was picking up, and I guess I accidentally ate them all. I have a lot of flowers, though.
Flowers? I can't eat flowers. I'm a the old pony. Flowers mess with the old digestive system.
Applewolf's sudden outburst caused Little Red to take a closer look at her granny, and she hesitated.
Ma, what big eyes you have, Granny.
All right, this bit. The better to see you with, my dear.
What big hooves you got.
The better to pick apples with, my dear.
What big ears you got.
The better to hear about you gobbling up all my apple treats with.
What a big flank you got.
What?
Flank? You can't even see my flank. Besides, I'd say Rarity's flank is far bigger than...
What
Wow.
a big eagle you got.
Wow.
Now that there's just plain rude.
Wow.
What big teeth you got.
Ugh, I can't take this anymore. I'm not your granny. See? I'm the wolf.
Ah, the wolf. Where's Granny? What have you done to her? Did you gobble her up?
Little Red cried, dropping her basket of flowers and backing into the wall across the room.
Gobble her up? I don't gobble up ponies. I gobble apples. And I was supposed to gobble those treats you had. But you went and ate them up yourself.
Help! Help! The wolf's gonna eat me!
Little Red cried, running away from Applewolf towards the door.
Didn't you hear me? I don't eat ponies, I eat apples. Come back here.
Applewolf responded, pursuing Little Red before she could alert other ponies. The pair of them ran around the little cottage, causing quite a ruckus, which caught the attention of Lumberman, who was passing by. Axe in hoof, he rushed into Granny's cottage to see what was wrong.
What's going on in here?
Pinkie, what are you doing?
Pinkie.
Well, I wasn't in the store yet, so I figured I'd be the lumberjack who saves the day. Oh, weird is it that they're called lumberjacks, and yet that's not the part that Applejack is playing?
No, Pinkie, this is supposed to be Lumbermack's part. Where is he?
Nowhere. He's nowhere. He must have quit or something. He didn't show up. Yep, that's my story and I'm sticking to it.
Pinkie, where did you hide him?
Why would you think I hit him?
Because of that.
Oh, that? That's something else. Gummy's at the dentist, and he doesn't like it.
Gummy doesn't have teeth, Pinkie.
But I wanted to be in the story.
Yeah.
Pinkie, let Lumbermack go right now.
Ooh.
Fine. But I still think I would have been a better lumberjack. Lumber pie.
Pinkie!
Ooh, what happened?
Anyway, axe and hoof, Lumbermack rushed into Granny's cottage to see what was wrong. When he got inside, he found Little Red Riding Bloom assaulting Applewolf with a little wicker basket.
Oh, thanks, Celestia! Get this little filly away from me!
Applewolf shouted, hiding behind Lumbermack and clinging to his back hooves in fear.
She killed Granny.
Little Red Riding Bloom insisted, trying to get past Lumbermack, who held her a hoof length away from Applewolf.
I didn't know such thing. If you would just listen to me,
From the doorway, Lumbermack and Little Red could see Granny, holding the frying pan in her mouth and hauling a large cart of frying pans packaged together, reading, 120 frying pan set, great for keeping out unwanted guests.
That's scarily accurate.
Pinkie, you're still in trouble. Go back to the bed, Pinkie Corner.
Ooh.
Aww. What in tarnation happened in here?
Granny asked, looking at the horrendous state of her cottage.
But Granny, I thought the wolf had gotten you. Ha! A wolf best me? No such thing, little one. Now you go on and get the broom from the closet and start sweeping up. Lumbermack?
Yep.
Y'all can start picking up the furniture.
Yep.
What do we do with the wolf? Don't you worry none, youngin'. I've got something in mind for her.
So Granny, Little Red, and Lumbermack tidied the little cottage and restacked the frying pans in their proper place. When Applewolf finally came around, Granny convinced her to work as a guard for her little orchard, protecting the apples from pests and thieves alike. In exchange, Granny and Little Red would bake her all kinds of apple goods to satisfy her hunger. But if Applewolf ever decided to get out of line or eat the apples herself, Lumbermack wasn't too far away with a frying pan ready. Little Red Riding Bloom learned never to stray from the path and to stock up on cookware in case of an emergency.
And they all lived happily ever after. Get it? Because they're apples? Oh, shh. They're asleep. Good night, little ponies. See you next time for some more Pinkie Tales.
That was fun. And now we know that Little Red Riding Bloom has learned not to talk to strangers and not to follow a stranger's advice. Always follow what your parents tell you and do not talk to strangers or let them trick you into doing something you should not be doing. Well, this was fun. I'll be reacting to other episodes in the future. This is Rainbow Breeze. Thank you, Magpie, and all the voice actors and actresses that did this, and all the artists. This was wonderful. Well, as always, this is Rainbow Breeze, signing off.
Speech on. Camera chooser. Stop recording.